Khalil. This ain't no fake news, ain't no clowning around. It's the real with Khalil, yeah, the truth is in the sound. The mission, dropping knowledge with no fiction. If you got a minute, sit down and have a listen. From the field to the screens, yeah, we keeping it raw. Real talk, real lessons, addressing every flaw. Life hits hard, and it causes real pain. But out of the struggle, there always comes real change. We dig deep, pulling stories from the core. Vulnerability, truth, transparency, and so much more. So tune in close, let the wisdom expand. It's not only a podcast, it's a helping hand. It's the real with Khalil.
Here we go.
That's it.
Here we go. So, welcome to The Real with Khalil, the podcast for real life, real lessons with real people for real change. On The Real, we keep it real. We dig deep, pulling stories from the core, vulnerability, truth, transparency, and so much more. Today, I get to bring my guy on, long time friend. We just figured out it's been like 16, 17 years, man.
Long time.
It's been crazy, bro.
Absolutely.
A man I respect deeply. I've seen his transition many times over. And one of the biggest things about the podcast is all of us have been in a space of reinvention many times in our life. And maybe for you, there's an opportunity for you to glean something from someone else. And so the premise behind this all is bringing on people that are powerful, that have traversed their shortcomings, their fallbacks or setbacks, and set them up for a comeback. So I get to introduce this man today by the name of Dwayne Phelps Jr., AKA Lefty.
Absolutely.
Hometown, I says Inglewood, California, and Houston, Texas.
Absolutely. Born in Inglewood. First, before I talk about anything, I got to give this man so much credit. The energy we had from day one was epic, phenomenal. For no reason at all. You know, two different coasts. But we have a passion to serve, a passion to add value, and that was we find it through laughter and tenacity.
So, it's the truth, bro.
It's nothing but the truth. God bless you, bro.
It's real.
For
Off
sure.
the rip, we just had a good time, and you don't connect with people.
Absolutely.
You don't connect with people all the time. Like know, like sometimes you meet people like, it's just it's an interesting vibe, and we did connect off the rip, man. I just want to say I appreciate you. Thanks for those sentiments, man.
Absolutely.
And so California and Texas, and then you said from achievements, some college, cosmetology license, obviously. I know that, but they don't know that. And then owning a barbershop as well. I know you're an entrepreneur, father of 4 beautiful children, and a member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I'm saying that right? The pretty boys? The pretty boys are the Canes?
Listen, the pretty boys are the Canes. That's right, the candy canes.
Yeah. I know y'all be doing all...
Don't do that too much. I want to get you in trouble.
My bad. That was homage. That was love. That was homage. That was homage. I seen y'all on campus a lot, man.
Yes, sir.
Some things you're very passionate about is haircuts for the homeless, teaching fathers how to groom their sons' hair, and uplifting others.
Absolutely.
Personal interest, stoicism. I'm gonna get back to that. Fitness, cooking, joking. I know that all too well.
100%,
I know that too all too well.
100%.
Joking all too well. A healthy debate. I know that all too well.
Ooh,
I know that all too well. History, culture, Game of Thrones, and consistent pursuit of peace. Okay. Memorable quote or saying: in order to have what you've never had, you must do what you've never done. Love and peace are direct byproduct of faith. Ain't nothing wrong with being a copycat. Just copy the right cat.
Amen.
I like him, man.
Absolutely.
Without further ado, my guest today, Dwayne Phelps, aka Lefty.
Bro, this is an honor.
Yeah.
No, this is an honor to get the phone call from a brother who I respect. This is an honor, man. Yes, Lefty. Got the name from a motorcycle accident I had back in 2001, where I lost the use of my right arm. Prior to that, I had been a barber already for about 4 or 5 years. And when I came out of the accident, I said, I'm a mess talker. Right. I'm going to always give somebody a hard time. I'm going to always get joned at. I'm always spitting Jones right back at you. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I knew this was going to be an ongoing thing with my arm. So I said, you know what? Let me find a way to alleviate that. And it came to me from watching 8 Mile.
Got it.
I'm watching 8 Mile. And
the Eminem movie.
The Eminem movie.
Okay.
Who's not my top 10 or top 5.
Okay.
But he's one of the greatest.
Got it.
He's up there at the end of the movie. He's talking about how, your boy messed with my mom. Yeah, my boy shot himself in the leg and this and that. And he took all the wind out of the guy's sail, who was the best rapper in the game.
Right.
So the guy gets up there and he can't say nothing back to him because he ate it all up already. So when I said, you know what, I'm gonna name myself Lefty. So when I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna be shy about it. This is who I am from.
You're gonna point fun at yourself.
I'm
off the rip. Then I disarm people with that.
You disarm them.
Yeah.
Because what you gonna say about Lefty? You
right.
Oh wait, your name is Lefty.
That was the last scene of the movie.
Last scene of the movie.
And he just basically goes in on himself.
He goes in on himself.
Yeah. He talks about his race. He talks about where he lives. All that. Yeah.
Come on.
You know, it's not one of my favorite movies, but I remember that scene pretty vividly, man. So I like that. I like that idea. So there's something in your bio, man, or your brief bio that I want to come back to, and it was stoicism. I want to get back to that. I want to put a pin in that because I'm going to start off like kind of light with you.
Okay.
But I want to get to that. So we're gonna start off light. And this is a question I like to ask. I'm a big into comedians. I love to laugh. So, who are your favorite comedians? If you gave me your like top 4, top 5, who are your favorite comedians?
Well, that's a great question. I am born in 1977, so I had the opportunity of seeing almost all the greats, right? But I gotta pay homage because I kind of find myself. I identify with comedians because laughter creates joy. And in my opinion, joy creates peace. So when you can tap into that comical side of things, you can literally bring joy to people.
I agree, man. I agree.
Which creates a peaceful environment.
Yeah.
Right? Because joy is almost like peeling back a little layer of who you are, showing a little humility, and making fun of yourself, making fun of others, and still being able to navigate through all the pains of life in a comical way.
Yeah. I'll tell you why I asked this question, right? I asked this question about who your top comedians is because I feel like laughter is probably the most present you can be. Like when you're laughing there, you aren't anywhere else, right? So when I ask people who your top comedians, I'm asking them that because I want to know, are you aware of who those are? Because I feel like if you can get out any mood, if you just like, oh man, I'm gonna laugh, right?
100%.
So I always ask that question. So who are your top 4? Who are your top 4?
So I'll probably go with top 4.
Top 4 or 5?
Top 4 or 5 for sure. I'll start with Red Fox.
Okay.
You know, from Red Fox to of course Richard Pryor.
Okay.
From Richard Pryor on to Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy to Martin. Martin was my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember watching the first 3 seasons and coming back to school every day, reciting this stuff.
Right.
Me and my friend William, I can't remember Will's last name. Shout out to you when you catch this.
Right.
But we used to, man.
Yeah, man. Jerome.
So when I was being a member of Cap Alpha Psi, there's a pledge process. So in the pledge process, we're learning all these poems, all these tasteful moments, right? Literally, we get a whole script of a poem and got to learn it that night. And we got to go through the stress of the trials and tribulations to get to this poem. But 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, brothers have had a couple beverages, and we want to lighten the mode. So they get Showtime will come on. Showtime comes on. I go right in the character.
Showtime at the Apollo or Showtime like y'all got to be y'all online right now.
We're online pledging.
Okay.
And Showtime is co-worked for Make Us Laugh or keep getting beat.
Got it.
So I say Showtime. That was my time to shine.
Right.
I wasn't that great with withholding information. I could take pain and I could make everybody laugh.
Right. So you got Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and Martin Lawrence. I love it. Perfect. So all right, now the next question I have for you, right? So I'm a big music person, you know that. I'm a music junkie, right? So I asked this question: who are your Mount Rushmore, your top 4 hip hop artists? Okay, your top 4 hip hop artists. This is the Mount Rushmore. This is your Mount Rushmore. Okay,
my Mount Rushmore.
This is So no shade in the
Not
comments.
Not the Mount Rushmore.
This is
my Mount.
It's the Mount Rushmore because it's yours.
For sure.
Yeah, it's yours. It's yours. So it's the Mount Rushmore.
I'll take that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I grew up in Texas. I was born in Houston, lived in Louisiana, Houston, then moved to Arizona. I love E40 out the gate.
Okay.
I had no idea, never been to Oakland, but E40 would come on and he starts spitting. And I had a challenging childhood, but E40 talks about having this rough childhood with such a dynamic tone.
Got it.
So E40 stood out to me.
Okay.
Nas is a god of rap to me.
Yep.
It's not even if somebody's talking to me about rap and Nas is not one of the first 5 people they bring up, we're done talking about rap. and that's a respectful age.
Jones, I get it.
Because if they're under 35, then maybe under 30, then they may not know Nas the way I know Nas.
We got E40 Nas. Who else?
So E40 Nas, of course, Big. For no reason, make absolutely no sense. Fat, ugly, nasty, black and ugly as ever. However, you know what I'm saying? However.
That's a good.
I got to see Biggie live.
Right. Yeah, did you really? I saw Biggie live as well, man.
Boom.
I saw Biggie live as well.
Chills.
Yeah.
Getting chills right now thinking about that.
I saw Biggie live as well, man.
So we got Nas, We got Big.
E40.
We got E40.
Who rounding off the Mount Rushmore?
Oh man, it's so hard because we all love him, but I gotta be a little diverse, and I'm gonna go with Wayne.
Oh man, Wayne's on his way here soon. Wayne's coming to Arizona soon.
I gotta go with Wayne because, of course, honorable mention Pac. You know, there's so many that I could throw in there.
Wayne is lyrically just leaps and bounds above a lot of people.
Come on, man. His wordplay for the time he came out when he was dropping the mixtapes, bro. I mean, he just killed the game.
That's a good Mount Rushmore, man. E40, man, that's a surprise. E40, Nas, Biggie, and who was the last one you said?
Wayne.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I think Lollipop is probably one of the best songs ever.
For sure.
It's just one of those songs that like gets you charged. And I think I remember where I was the moment I heard Lollipop, for sure. If you had a current favorite song, right? I respect your list, by the way.
Okay.
I haven't really gotten an E40, obviously, you know, those
East Coast, we don't get an E40.
You know, but I've been out here for so long, I've been on the West Coast for so long that you know, you start to like I carry Tajin everywhere now. That's how long I've been on the
Mexican.
That's how long I've been on the West Coast,
After 10 years, you're Mexican in Arizona, 100%.
So I carry Tajin everywhere. I put Tajin on almost everything, right?
100%.
So the more I hear E40, the more I'm like, yeah, this is dope. But I remember Sprinkle Me when I was young.
Sure.
That was like my first one that I knew of him. So I love your Mount Rushmore. But as far as a current song that's like, you know how you get those songs that you just play over and over. Do you have a current song? It doesn't mean current like it just came out. I mean currently. What are you bumping that's like on your favorites list?
I have to give credit to the newest guys because I am an elder. We low key past Unc.
No.
You're right there. You're right there. You wore cross colors, so you're right. You wore cross colors and Guess jeans.
True.
So we passed Unc. You know what I'm saying? We on the way to being OGs. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So I'm gonna have to say the newest, dopest song and artist, I gotta give Kendrick his due.
Yeah.
For what he's done, and growing up in the Pac and Biggie era, growing up through all the disses, what he did to Drake, and no knock on Drake, because Drake, I don't care who you are, Drake's one of the best rappers of all time.
By far.
He's from his success.
By far.
From his success. I have a 14-year daughter, a 12-year daughter. I could take them to a Drake concert and we could all rock out.
All of us. All of us. That's the truth.
And for what that man lyrically did to his career,
to Kendrick,
and just in a way with the video, I mean, Kendrick is a genius. I had the opportunity to cut his hair about 10 years ago.
That's what's up, man.
He about 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
But
lyrically,
lyrical bro,
assassin, man.
He's a lyrical assassin.
I like that, man. That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. I mean, obviously, he's made his impression in a big way. I love the stuff that he's done. I'm a big Baby Keem fan. You know Baby Keem? It's like an artist that he signed.
Okay. So he got to be good if he.
I mean, I like Baby Keem. I like a lot of new stuff though.
For sure.
I like a lot of new music, but I hear him a lot more than I expected to hear him. But he's got such versatility, man, and I respect that. All right, we're gonna get into something now.
Let's get into it. I'm here for it.
So I'm gonna ask you this one because I know you're a big basketball fan.
Oh,
bro.
For sure.
So if you had to have your Mount Rushmore, top 4 NBA players of all time, this is yours personal.
Personal, for sure.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with the GOAT and my GOAT again. Ladies and gentlemen, I only speak from what I witnessed.
This is yours.
This is mine, bro.
There's no debate. People can say whatever they want, but this is yours. This is all personal.
All personal.
This is personal. This is a fitted suit. This only fits you.
Come on,
tailored. So it's yours.
Gotta go with Mike being number 1.
Okay,
Michael Jordan has defied the game of basketball. Now, granted, he got to come in right when black people started being accepted. There was Michael Jordan before him, but it wasn't okay to be blacking on TV.
I like it, man.
Just yet.
Yep. Okay.
So I didn't see much before that.
Yeah, I mean,
I barely remember Magic. I was born in '77, so when Magic retired, I was like 10, maybe 12 years old.
I don't remember anything about Magic.
No,
nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
So then after that was Mike.
Yep.
Mike was God to us, okay?
Boom.
And some people he pissed off.
Some people.
Boom. Yeah, he was hurt. He was breaking hearts in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Some people disliked him a lot.
100%. That's how you know you're great. So when you hate it, you're great. So a bunch of y'all who hate me, I love y'all too. But that's ain't who I am. I love all the hate. I walk right into it.
Yep.
So after that, if Mike's number 1, Kobe's obviously number 2.
Okay, Kobe.
Because Kobe came from Mike's descendants.
Yeah, for sure.
The Kevin Garnett's, the Paul Pierce, the Vince Carters, all those Mike descendants. And he came in here and he whooped their ass.
Yeah.
I mean, he beat Tim Duncan multiple times in the playoff.
Yep.
He beat the greats over and over again.
Yeah.
Then went through. I saw him come in from a rape case.
Yeah.
I saw him get booed in LA on a helicopter and put up 60 points.
Yeah.
That just thinking about makes my eyes water.
Yeah, man.
Imagine the world hating you and you still show up.
Lower Marion High.
Come on.
Yeah.
After Kobe, I'm gonna say one of the most powerful players I've ever seen was Shaq. Boom. I mean, I'd never seen a force unstoppable like Shaquille O'Neal. And then after Shaq, I gotta go with golly, so much, man. It's so much. But I'm gonna say Akeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
The footwork, the not being able to speak English, but just being adaptable to the culture, and just a phenomenal talent.
Yeah. Man, I like your Mount Rushmore a lot. Shaq is one of my all-time favorite players.
100%.
Of all times. I mean, being a bigger person growing up, not big like Shaq, but like, you was like baby Shaq at the time.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
always the tallest,
always the biggest, And I love Shaq, man. I love the fact, one, he's from Jersey.
Okay, that's right.
And and then Kobe from right outside of Philly.
Yep.
So it's like cool to have like people that are represented, on that coast, man. And we had this thing called the High School Sports Show.
Okay.
Right? I was featured on there a couple times for being like Player of the Week. But then Kobe was on there.
Dope.
But Kobe was in there every week, though. You know what I'm saying? Every week. Like,
again,
who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
But yeah,
right.
He's only one.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. He just told his age. He was right there with the mama.
He was 1 year older than me.
What?
But it was cool to grow up, but I didn't know him. And I only knew him because a guy I went to school with was a top recruit as well, ended up going to Temple.
Okay.
And he was the only one that kind of like keyed me in on him.
Okay.
A guy named Julian Dunkley that ended up going to. And I was like, I don't know who this dude is. And then then we started seeing him, all the time. But also was a little too naive to like, I didn't really give too much care about basketball at that point. I was really in the, obviously in the football.
For sure.
Which they don't know, but yeah, man, it's a big one. So I like your Mount Rushmore. We got Jordan, Kobe, Olajuwon, and Shaq.
100%.
That's a great one. Okay. All right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit.
Let's switch it.
We're gonna switch gears a little bit.
Yes, sir.
What do you do for fun? Like, what's like on some simple, like on some simple, I don't need to really spend a lot, or what's some like simple fun to you?
You know what, man? That's an amazing question, and I wouldn't say. I'd say I discovered love later in life, right?
Okay.
So what's fun to me, honestly, a perfect day, man, is my kids all around me, arguing, talking mess to each other, climbing all over me. Complaining, I want my phone. I mean, we did a road trip to Houston.
Okay.
I have 4 children.
How long is that? How long is a road trip to Houston?
A road trip is at least 2 days. It's 19 hours.
Okay.
So we leave, and at the time I had a Jeep. And
Okay.
I don't care how new a Jeep is.
Man.
A Jeep Wrangler.
Why? Hold on. Dwayne. Why would you take I'm lost at why would you even take a Jeep Wrangler on a 19-hour?
And I didn't realize what I was doing, but this is all I was working with what I got. But nonetheless, back to what's fun.
Yep. What's fun?
I had now it was great seeing my family. It was great, showing my kids areas that I grew up in. But what was the most memorable moment to me was hearing my kids argue and fight the entire time.
Got it.
Just hearing them. I mean, they're on their iPhones playing games with each other, and they're arguing about who should go where and get over there. And one's telling one what to do, and the other one's telling the other one to shut up. And then I got to step in every now and then.
How deep was y'all in the
Bro, we was
5
5 deep, bro.
Yeah, y'all was doing a lot.
We was 5 deep.
It was doing a lot.
It was stinking after about 30 minutes.
So yeah, of course. So your fun is basically being surrounded by people that you love and the ones that love you.
100%.
Okay, I love that, man. I love that. Favorite food?
Anything.
Let me ask you this: like your death row meal, like
Death
you know
row
what I'm saying?
meal.
Like you can craft your meal, but you got like a death row meal. What's your death row meal?
So death row meal, because I'm from Texas, by the way of Louisiana, and of course a little bit of California. So I'm gonna go with Louisiana first, which is anything Cajun, etouffee, a bowl of gumbo, a piece of fried fish, and between the Southwestern, the Houston and Arizona, California, I'm gonna go with a nice medium rare steak.
Okay.
And some mashed potatoes.
Medium
you know
rare
what I'm saying?
steak. You got some etouffee.
Yes, sir.
You got a side on there. You do straight.
Etouffee is over rice with a
rice.
little bit of potato salad.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
So a little piece, a slab of fried catfish on the side.
Bro, catfish is.
Are you kidding me?
I love catfish.
100%.
I love catfish. I went to visit my uncle. I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
He was coaching the D line for Mississippi State.
Okay.
And he's my uncle, like this uncle. Like,
Yeah,
he's not really
for
my
sure.
uncle, but he uncle,
sure.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's funny, it's crazy enough, we look wildly similar.
No way.
I mean, wildly similar.
No blood connection.
No blood connection. I mean,
wow.
When I'm talking about when I was down in Mississippi State, everyone was like, "That's your kin?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What the hell did you just say to me?"
Right.
I'm from New Jersey.
What kin is,
I was like, "What did you just say?"
Yeah.
That's your kin.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so dude getting mad at me because I don't know what he's saying.
Same tribe though.
I was like,
yeah.
What did you just say to me? That's your kin. That's your kin. Bro, I don't know what you're saying to me because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm taking it as disrespect. Like, I'm like, what are you saying to me? But when I was down there, man, I had catfish nuggets for the first time. I came back home in Jersey, man. My mom was sick of me.
100%.
Constantly asking, like, can we get some catfish nuggets? She was like, Khalil, we got to find them first. But, man, catfish is like high on my list, bro. I like your meal. So the steak, you said medium rare?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
A little bit above.
Okay.
Through and through pink. No A1 sauce, blackened.
Oh, no, you can't do no A1 sauce.
No, that's disrespectful.
And what cut are you doing on the steak?
Oh, I'm doing the bone and ribeye.
Okay, bone and ribeye.
Yeah, gotta be a little.
Yeah, that's a win.
Listen, fitness goes out the window when you talk about your death row meal. First of all, we talk about your cheat meal. We going in.
You just eating, man. Yeah. I like to ask those questions, man, because I think one is able to bring people closer to you, right?
For sure.
Commonality is probably one of the biggest things that aligns people, right?
Yep.
So the first day you and I met, off the rip, it was jokes and jokes.
100%.
And being similar heights, being similar, like, kind of builds and all that. Like, we just had like so there was like this equal commonality of
For
like,
sure.
When you meet someone, you kind of size them up.
Yeah.
Without even thinking you're sizing them up. You
Mirror.
You're trying to
Reflection.
think, exactly.
Yeah.
So frequency wise, I figured like, we on the same frequency. We vibe because it was like walking into like a pool of water.
For sure.
And it was both optimal for both of us. Like, that's optimal for you?
Yeah.
Like, optimal for you? Like,
sure.
bro, let's go.
Absolutely.
Off the rip. So, yeah, man, I like to have those things to kind of be able to put people in the space of like, can I identify with a person? Because a lot of times we can't identify people because there's so many outward things that we see as differences that we forget, like, well, what about all these similarities?
For sure.
What about all these similarities? Because all of us have so much similarities it's like the very peaks of us are the differences.
Absolutely.
But for the most part, 99% of us are
we're all human.
We're all so similar.
100%.
Right? So our stories can be similar. I love your meal, man. I would definitely take that. I take the etouffee with no sausage.
For sure.
No pork.
He's a part-time Muslim. Other than the white girls, he's a part-time Muslim.
Oh, no.
Excuse me, my brothers and sisters.
Oh,
could you tap that young white, supple, thick woman?
You're bugging.
Hey, white girl, ain't no wrong white girls.
Nothing. But your moniker of me is interesting. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. So, what's your favorite snack, man? What's your favorite snack besides? I mean, I can really get on you right now. I'm gonna let you.
Other than white girls.
I'll let you live.
Chocolate. Anything chocolate. Anything chocolate is my favorite snack. I will eat chocolate anytime, all day.
So big.
I love dark chocolate, bro.
So big.
I go to Cold Stone Creamery. I need brownies. I need almonds.
Yeah.
I need Snickers.
You going chocolate ice cream on chocolate?
No. That's where the white girl come back in. We doing vanilla. We doing the vanilla. We doing the vanilla, but we gonna mix all that in.
Okay.
We gonna throw it in the freezer.
Yep.
We gonna go watch. We gonna get that good show in. Let that get nice and cold, and we're gonna bust it open at night.
And you're gonna eat that, okay?
Yeah, and then we're gonna go right back into the fasting.
You go ice cream for your favorite snack?
Yeah. If I can say our chocolate chip cookie with walnuts, something like that. Yeah, I mean anything with chocolate.
Well, walnuts. Yeah, I mean, I get that, bro. I'm a cookie fan to be.
For sure.
I'm a cookie monster. 100%. Bro, I love a cookie, man. Yeah. I mean, I was 290 at one point.
Listen,
so I was eating.
I was right there with you. I was right there with you too. I was 275.
Bro. So eating was a big part of that, man.
100%.
All right, so we're gonna switch gears just a little bit.
Let's do it.
If you could spend your day with a historical figure, you can ask them one thing. Okay, one thing. So a historical figure, you can ask them one thing. Who would it be, and what would you ask them?
It was an amazing question. If I had one day to spend with an historical figure, it would be Bruce Lee.
Okay, Bruce Lee. And what would you ask him? What would you ask Bruce Lee? Now, Bruce Lee, tell him who Bruce Lee is.
So Bruce Lee brought karate, kung fu to America. Gentleman whose family grew up in acting, which I didn't know I would discover recently.
Yeah.
And kind of in a circus kind of situation. And he always glorified it. So he also studied kung fu. So he was really one of the first people to bring that to light, right? To bring that to the whole world to witness.
Yes. What would you ask him though? What are you asking him?
He had such a level of discipline that in my truest opinion, discipline is what separates the good from the great.
Man.
Discipline is what separates the okay from the awesome. Discipline and effort.
Okay.
And he had such discipline and such effort because that's what it takes to be to where he was.
Let me ask you this question. I'm gonna pause you for a second. What is your definition of we got something right here.
Yeah.
What's your definition of discipline? You good now? You Gucci?
When you do things that you don't want to do with a smile on your face consistently.
Okay.
When it's raining outside, you still go out there and put that.
When you do what you
in.
don't want to do with a smile on your face consistently. Discipline. Okay. Bruce Lee. What are you asking? What are you asking Bruce Lee?
I'm asking Bruce Lee to tell me, teach me, share with me how to move like water. How to not let nothing affect me as I go through life's obstacles. How do I not take nothing personal? How to be so laser focused that no matter what challenges are facing me, I'm going to thrive.
Right.
Because that's what I witnessed him do.
Got it. I'm going to ask you a question that came from your bio. Okay. So in the back of that, what you just said right now about Bruce Lee, you're going to ask him how to be like water. You said like water. You said something about stoicism, and I actually don't know the definition of stoicism, but just in my brief research, I think it might align on what you just said about moving like water. What is what is your definition of stoicism? But what is stoicism?
The master of emotions.
Okay, master of emotions.
The ability to master your emotions in all circumstances.
Okay. Stoicism, the ability to master your emotions in all circumstances.
Now that may not be the dictionary,
the Webster,
but
it's yours.
That's what it means to me.
It's yours. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
So what is that like? Give me like a practical example of stoicism.
As you know, I had to spend 10 months in prison.
Okay.
For multiple DUIs.
Okay.
And along that time in prison, I had to realize that I put myself in this situation. And I said, you know what? I can blame this. I can blame this. I can go back and talk about my parents or the lack thereof of a father. Or I can say, you know what? You are you right now. And you put yourself in here. So you need to learn how to do what? Control an aspect of your life.
Right.
And what the aspect was the most out of control in my life was my perspective of my emotions and my relationship with my emotions. So as I got more literature, as I got back home and more access to knowledge, because we had tablets while we were there.
You had tablets in prison?
We had tablets in prison, bro.
Like iPads?
Like an iPad. I mean, there were limitations, of course.
Right.
But there were tablets. And in all these tablets, I discovered podcasts. I discovered all these amazing hosts. Jay Shetty, Lewis Howes, Mel Robbins. All these phenomenal people. And stoicism was one of the subject matters which I heard. So I started slowly implementing that into my life, which is doing challenging things. And what things I hated to do? I wasn't great with my budget. I wasn't great with my diet. And I wasn't great with with reading. I hated to read. As a child, I hated reading.
I still do.
So I said, you know what? These are the things I'm going to master as I'm in this space, because life is never going to give me, I'm never coming back here again.
Yeah.
So life is never going to give me a 10-month window to correct myself.
Got it.
So I went there and I lost almost 100 pounds. I read 50 books.
Right.
I listened to hours of podcasts a day.
Right.
And at that, and which included financial growth, which included literature, which included the Bible. I read a chapter of Proverbs every single day.
Got it.
Not that I'm a religious person, but Proverbs is about rules and lessons in life.
Okay.
So I take Proverbs, and I heard, I can't think of the gentleman's name, but I heard him talking about how one of his coaches listened to Proverbs. The gentleman that also hurt his arm.
Inky.
Inky Johnson.
Yeah,
Inky was one of his coaches in childhood, talked about Proverbs and how it helped mold his life. So I told myself every single morning I wake up, I'm gonna read a verse of Proverbs.
Got it.
So I do that now.
You spent 10 months.
10 months in prison.
Okay, so 10 months in prison. I remember when you disappeared.
Yes, sir.
And I remember looking for you, like,
where's Left at?
I was looking for you, bro. I was looking for you, man. And I don't know why it was a challenge to me when you were in there, which is interesting, man. I mean, I'm revealing this to you at this.
First time talking about it.
First time talking about it, bro. Look.
Yeah.
I don't know why it challenged me. Do you remember the dates? Do you remember the
I went in on November 31st. I got home.
There's only 30 days in November.
Okay, so on the 30th,
Because
right?
that's my birthday.
Boom.
That's why I know that.
Okay, boom. Is that right after? It's right after Thanksgiving, right?
It's right after Thanksgiving, yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
I went in right after Thanksgiving, and I got home on the 29th of September.
You know what year was it?
That was in 2022, 21 to 22.
That's why. So I was in a big transition, and still, I mean, you know, we all transition.
sure.
I was in a big transition as well, and I think I might have been looking for you that's crazy, bro.
I don't know if you know this, but you were one of the first people I called the day I got home.
I do know that. I do know that.
I called you right away.
I do know that. I was one of the first people you called. And I was honored, and I was honored that you called me. And I was kind of bitter. Like, where were you almost? And I didn't realize that till like I'm telling you this now. Like, I know I was transitioning a lot, man. I was looking for you because I knew you had some life lessons that you had lived through that I was trying to navigate, or at least wanted counsel on some things.
Phone off.
Just, you know, life. And so when you called me, and it was like I was almost shocked that you were calling me.
I could tell. I could tell.
Yeah. I was shocked that you called me, but I could tell your demeanor changed. And you were still you, but not the you I had met in 15 years ago or whatever, 100%. Right? It's like a different version of you, and I didn't really know how to receive you, honestly. I was kind of like, I remember you said, "Hey, maybe we should get together," and I was like, I don't know what to talk to you about.
For sure.
Which is weird to maybe say now, but
100%.
And I want to say like to the audience there, like I appreciate you guys showing up and being a supporter of the channel. This is just real talk. It's just us talking, right? So, the only thing that's scripted is the questions.
For sure.
The only thing that's scripted is questions. And I don't mean scripted, but I don't know how this is going to all play out. Like, this is all a very fluid conversation. There's no edits on this as well.
No way.
But when you came home, man, I could feel the difference. And then we finally met up. We went to lunch right over off of Ray.
Modern Market.
And I remember us just talking, man. I remember being at a different place, but I was wanting to just be there for you at that time.
For sure.
But Stoicism, man, when you talked about that, the first thing that resonated is that, as black men, right? I think one of the quickest ways to get under a black person's skin is saying the N-words.
100%.
And I would hear you say, essentially, from the Bruce Lee to the Stoicism to the Jay Shettys to the time on your vacation in prison, that if someone was to call you the N-word, you should be able to be like,
100%.
That's Stoicism.
Someone can spit on me.
Okay. Spit on you.
And I'm gonna wipe it off and smile at them.
Bro, you're at a different level, because I don't know if I'd be that person.
Well, you know that if you've ever been to prison.
Okay,
because if you hit somebody, you got to remember every action is a reaction. So when you react to someone that does something derogatory to you, and you can survive it, if you do something derogatory back to them, and you hate, okay, boom, I hit them.
Right.
They fall, they hit their head, they break something, and something happens to them. Guess who's going to jail?
Yeah, you got more time now.
You got more time.
Yeah.
So now, once you go to that dark place, and now when I say I was in prison, I was at a very low level yard. I was at a level 2, level early 3. It's 5 levels a yard.
Okay.
So I'm in a room full of other idiots. You know what I mean? Because if you're in prison, you're an adult timeout. You know what I mean? You make consistent dumb choices. You don't go to prison for one kind of dumb choice. I probably had like 3 or 4 DUIs. You know what I mean?
Got it.
And I just kept getting off because I knew phenomenal people.
You had 3 or 4 DUIs.
You know, I didn't know it. You know what I mean?
Got it.
You know, 2 of them was a motorcycle accident, and I didn't know about it.
That was early.
It was later.
Oh,
the first two, I got them off. This happened in college. This was just me being dumb.
This wasn't a motorcycle accident.
This was the motorcycle accident that happened in college. This is the crotch rocket.
And you got back on another motorcycle.
It's in the garage right now. I was gonna drive it here, but it's too hot. See, I can't let fear. I only get back on a bike because I can't let fear define who I am.
Yeah, bro.
That
makes sense.
I have to tackle fear.
Yeah.
And I gotta dive right into it, because if you let fear control you,
it'll beat you into a corner, bro.
You will never experience life. I know so many phenomenal people who are looking for many dope women. Example, I'm single right now. I'm meeting dope women left and right. And they're looking at what's wrong in every situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus diving in saying, what are the possibilities of joy? And I start realizing that fear is being sold to us. Almost like dopamine.
Yeah, bro.
The fear is being sold to us so high that we can't even enjoy the beauty of life.
No. Before I started this, so this is episode 2, and fear had its hands on me for probably 2 years. I've been sitting on this for 2 years. Afraid to reinvent.
Yep.
Afraid to be a rookie again.
Yep.
Afraid to start all over.
Yep.
Afraid to possibly not do well.
Yeah.
Afraid of who's going to judge me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him trying this now. Look at how he doing this. Like, you know. So I get it, man. I remember in college, we went out one time. We went out, you know, we just having fun.
For sure.
And these kids roll up on us, man, and you know, they pulled out knives, and you know, it wasn't good for us.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't good for us. And I remember my girlfriend in college being like, "Yeah, you're not going out for a while. Like, you're not going out anymore.
For sure.
You're not going out for a while." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going out tonight. Like, we're going out tonight." Like,
Right.
we're going out tonight. Like,
Right
we're going
back
out
at it.
tonight.
Right back at
because
it. Yeah.
if it books me into, if it takes an inch from me,
Come on.
then I know it's just waiting for me not to be on purpose neglectful.
Yeah.
But just catch me off guard.
For sure.
Fear's got to catch you off guard. It just has to catch you off guard. It doesn't have to catch you in absolute neglect. It just got to catch you off guard. And if I had let her, which I know her concern,
For sure.
props to her for wanting to keep me home. Like, no, you just went through this trauma last night. Like, you're not gonna go out again. Like, I'm going out tonight.
Right.
And so I know what you mean when it comes to fear. But when you said someone's spitting on you, Dwayne, I got to tell you, man. Like, I'd love to know that a part of me. I mean, I think someone could call me the N-word. That's the place that I'm in now, where someone can call me an N-word. But you spit on me, I feel like that's like you punched me.
You got to go.
But I feel like that's like you hitting me, though.
Listen.
Is that not considered assault?
Listen, I'll say this. Everything that we've learned about human action is in the Bible on how to be. And if you are religious, I'm not that religious.
I'm not religious. I wouldn't say I'm religious.
a very spiritual person. And the Bible may or may not be real. It's stories.
Gotcha.
It's stories.
Gotcha.
It's stories and examples on how to be.
Yeah.
A gentleman along my journey had dropped a nugget on me. He said, what if God is not a human? What if it's an entity and a mindset? He just add one more word, one more initial, O. Add one more O to God and it's a good. So be in the spirit of good.
Got it.
Do out the acts of good.
Got it.
Then he said, what if Jesus merely means just us? So if the Father's good and Jesus is just us, then none of us are perfect.
Right.
And we all grew up in this society. America is teaching us all these things for destruction, which I'm a byproduct too. But my goal is to be good, the Jesus, just us version of good.
Right.
Right? So when I say somebody's spitting on me, now I don't know how I'll act in that moment.
Got it.
But my pursuit of peace is such at a place that if somebody were to do something so vile, I would pray to good. I would pray to me that I possess the strength to wipe that off and pray for that brother. Because people have done vile things. I've seen some vile things in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm like, I'm just blown because I've been spit on before.
For sure.
And it wasn't, you know, I went, you know.
Ballistic.
Yeah, ballistic, bro. And this is a long time ago. I think it was in 7th grade. So it was a long time ago, but I can remember it.
It's already
like it just happened.
For sure.
And it wasn't just like a one-time thing. I went ballistic and then went back to them again.
Of course.
Like, and the next time I see you, it's going to be again. Like, it was like that level of like, I can't believe someone would spit on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that level of like, I'm blown. Like, not unsure of how I can get there. But when you talk about stoicism, man, I'm saying it right? I'm saying
Stoicism.
Stoicism.
Yes, sir.
Is your ability to not react to everything. To be mindful in the space of any violence or harm towards you, as long as they don't touch you, or is it like
you have to know how powerful you are? Look at just remember the karate films we watched growing up.
Yeah, for sure.
We remember these karate films, and it was always an old man sitting there stroking his beard.
Right.
And there was a team of 100 would come ready to jump him.
Shout out to Karate Kid. Shout out. One of the best movies ever.
Not the karate I'm talking about. It'll always be that old guy with gray, probably 80-something years old, beard hanging, and he'd be so calm. It'd be 100 people run up on him, ready to go to war.
Yeah.
And he's like,
right.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Right.
He was so proud, and he knew who he was that he's not going to be, y'all sure y'all want this work?
Yeah, not moved by you.
I'm not moved by this.
Right.
So that's what I mean by stoicism. And when you think about the story of Jesus, just us, he was not moved by his best friend betraying him.
Right.
Which best friends have betrayed me?
Yeah,
the most people who I've given the most to have done me the dirtiest. I mean, the knife in the back, in the side, looking at me in my eye contact, kissing me.
We could have a whole episode about
Come on.
About
But I still love you. Yeah, you know who you are. Y'all know who you are. I still love you.
Right.
So with that being said, you have to find that level of peace.
Yeah.
The pursuit of happiness is a folk.
Yeah.
It's a folk tale.
I would
the
agree.
pursuit of peace should be
It's
the
the
story.
biggest one, bro. Biggest one.
Because happiness
Biggest
and
one.
anger go back and forth.
Biggest one.
Happiness, anger will flee. You'll be happy in moments, but are you at peace?
Right.
And if I discovered this earlier, my life might be a whole lot better.
I like that, man.
Yes, sir.
I like that. I appreciate that. I'm gonna move a little bit.
Let's move. Let's dive into the hard stuff.
Okay.
Let's dive into the Darth Vader.
What do you miss about being a child, man? So I know you're a father of 4, correct? Right. So you're father of 4.
Father of 4, yes, sir.
So you got 2 boys, and 2 girls, right?
My girls are 14 and 12, Ava and Sienna, and my boys are 10 and 9.
Okay. So you're not
Hendrix and Noah.
Right? So what? Obviously, you watch them and all those things. You're a parent now, but I'm asking you to tap into young Dwayne. Okay, young Dwayne. Young Dwayne is a child. What do you miss most about being a child?
I would say my mother's smile.
Yeah.
My mother's smile. You know, in the African American community, we have a history of not having a father.
Yeah.
Right. And it's by design. It's not even a joke. It's by design.
By design, for sure.
The more emotional we are, the weaker we are. And the person that's going to keep you emotional is your mother. Your father's going to say, "Cut that and get over here." And when the mom is submissive and loving to the father, which is our natural order, then the kid listens to the father. But yet the mother's tenderly love is a necessity. No different than the heart needs the blood, the bones need the oxygen. There's not one body part that we have in our anatomy that says, "I don't need you."
Yeah, for sure. It's one system, for sure.
So recreation, when you make a human, you need both parties to create that human physically, and you need both parties to create that mind and that spirit,
of course,
so they can function through life's flow.
Right.
Like Bruce Lee said, like water. So you can move like water. So you can develop stoicism.
Right.
So my favorite, as a black man, we typically don't have dad.
Right.
So we have mom. So mom is everything for us.
Yes.
You say something about mama, that's like spitting on you.
It's a fight instantly.
That's my everything.
It's a fight instantly. Yep.
So seeing my mom smile, man, was probably one of my favorite childhood moments. I used to wake up, man. You got Michael Jackson back here. I used to go to sleep with my Michael Jackson costume on. And my mom would have her friends. I'd be like, "What's these funny cigarettes?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is the 80s. So I didn't know what they was doing.
Got it. Those funny cigarettes were marijuana.
They were marijuana. You know, which you could buy at Circle K in a gummy form.
Now. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Exactly. So anyway, look like a now later. But nonetheless, not that I know about that. Nonetheless, I would have my outfit ready, have my socks on, my black pants, my jacket. It'd be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd be waiting for it. I'd be practicing my moves in the mirror, the whole get up.
Why 2 o'clock in the morning?
Because that's when everybody was asleep and her friends was up partying.
Okay, got it. They was all partying at the house. Okay, got it.
On Mickey's, Heineken's, and Yak. You know what I'm saying? and I would wake up, man, and she would play that song, and I'd just come on there and put on the show. I remember doing that and just seeing my mama proud, man, seeing her exhale from her stress that she was putting herself through. Yeah. You know, and that was probably one of my favorite childhood moments.
Man. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And your mom today is
my mom passed away back in 2017.
Your mom passed away.
A sensational woman, a hard worker. I was very honored to have an amazing woman teach me so much through.
Got it. That's beautiful, man. I appreciate you sharing that. For sure. So you had your Michael Jackson on.
Yeah.
You had the glove?
You had the glove.
I had the glove.
I had the Thriller jacket.
Yeah.
With the black, the red one with the black.
Oh, you had money.
100. I don't want to say that.
You had
a little bit. I had the real joint. Yeah, not the Target one. Not the one you got to make.
Not the plastic one.
Not the plastic when the button was off.
What?
Yeah.
Man, that thing a rip quick, boy. So
quick.
that was your favorite. The thing you missed the most about being a child.
That would probably be one. If I could think of off the top of my head, that would be one of my favorite. My favorite childhood.
And your mom? What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Nanette. Nanette. Her last name was Petrie. Okay. Was her maiden name.
Got it. Okay.
Nanette Yvonne Petrie.
Got it. Nanette. Well, shout out to Nanette. Rest easy, mom.
Rest easy, mom. For sure.
Rest easy. Thanks for bringing this guy to my world. For sure.
Nothing but blessings.
I definitely appreciate that. So, tell me how you grew up and the most influential people in your life. I'm sure your mom is in that, but
for sure. So I grew up. My early years. I was born in Los Angeles. Okay. Moved to Houston at about 3 or 4 years old. I lived in Houston until I was about 13 or 14. I had an amazing mom. You know, I had one of those pretty Creole light-skinned moms. That her
Go
mom.
Figure.
Right.
Go
exactly.
You
right.
are yellow for sure.
Yellow.
You high
Dirty
yellow.
red, you know what I'm saying?
You high yellow, son. I thought I was light skinned. It's the time that
I should have worn a tank top. I'm sorry, all the yellow's all the way out. But so I had this amazing mom who this tenacious, hardworking woman. My grandmother, Maydell Brinsky, German woman that lived in Louisiana, hardworking woman.
Hold on. Your grandma is German?
My grandmother's German and
Like
French.
she's Caucasian?
100%.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but you would never think that because she dropped the N-bombs in Louisiana like it was nothing.
Got it. She was Creole.
I mean, she was white.
But,
you know what I mean?
she
identified with the Creole culture.
Did she have that vernacular, that her speech was
For sure.
Okay, got it.
Now we're talking about 1930s here in Louisiana.
Bro.
So this whole Creole movement, she's a part of it.
Wow.
Now she was married 9 times, had 9 kids.
She was married 9 times?
She was married 9 times, had 9 kids.
Your grandma?
My grandmother, by 9 different men.
Okay.
So my mom never saw an example of family.
Got it.
So my mom's this amazing, beautiful, hardworking woman and just loves to have fun. She never has an example of family, so she gets married 4 times.
Right.
No, 3 times.
Got it.
And has 3 sons who are all juniors and 1 daughter. 3 different men, 3 sons.
Wow.
And then she didn't show good examples because even with her last husband, she was stepping out on him. Now here I am, this young man, looking at my mom step out on every man she's with. And now if one man wasn't doing what she wanted him to do, on with him, out with the new.
And you were aware of it.
I'm sitting there watching it. We moved from Houston, so we moved from Houston in 90. Shout out to my boy Clarence, my best friend from Houston. He watched me leave.
Right.
So my mom's telling me not to say nothing. My boy Clarence comes over to visit me on his bike.
Okay.
I'm in the back of the car. My mom sneaks out of Houston because she got some tax issues or some stealing, some legal stuff.
Right.
So she's sneaking us out of Houston, moving to Arizona.
Okay.
So my boy Clarence comes to visit me. He's like, "Where you going?" And I can't tell him where I'm going. I'm just waving by with tears coming down my eye. So I'm pretty much kidnapped from my home.
How old?
Bro, I was like in the 6th grade. So I'm grown enough to know what's going on.
What time of the day is this?
Bro, this is broad daylight.
So y'all leaving Houston.
Leaving Houston, moving to Phoenix.
Moving to Phoenix, just in the whip. Y'all just hop in the car and bounce.
Left everything.
Random day? Or you knew it was coming? Like,
I didn't know what was
let me grab
going
up my
on.
stuff.
I don't know nothing.
You came home from school. Like, how?
Pack up.
It was a weekday?
Bro, pack up.
It was a weekday though. Like
Weekday.
you went to school earlier and then
Come home. We're out of here. So that level of, you talk about trauma.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm being kidnapped from my life by my mother.
Was your dad in?
My stepdad. My biological father's been in prison my whole life. He just got out probably about 6 years ago.
Got it.
Yeah, so we're trying to make our relationship right now.
Bruh.
So then we get to Arizona. My mom's leaving. She's cheating on Buddy.
Okay.
She's cheating on my stepdad, which is my little brother's dad, with his Muslim cat.
Got it.
Is
he here? That's why? Is that why you're coming to Arizona?
That's how I get to Arizona.
Because he's here.
No. She doesn't know him yet. She meets this dude at work.
So that dude's in Texas too.
This is all of Texas comes to Arizona. My stepdad in Texas comes to Arizona.
Okay.
Me and my little brother and my mom.
Okay, all y'all come here. Got it.
All of us come here.
It wasn't like your mom just left and you.
No.
It was y'all.
All of us, me and my little brother.
All 4 of y'all.
My stepdad.
Mom, stepdad, you, and
my
your little brother. Okay, got it.
Whose biological father is my mom's husband at the time.
Got it. Okay.
We get to Arizona. She meets some Muslim dude at work who was actually pretty dope, brother by the name of Salim Shaw.
Okay.
He was a part of Fruit of Islam. He's probably a big reason why I never really got into white women.
Right. FOI.
FOI.
Shout out to
FOI. Brothers and sisters.
Yeah, shout out to FOI. I was definitely raised that way, bro. So I get it.
Boom.
Yep. You understand?
So this is a part of our vibe. So I'm gonna drop another nugget on you.
Yeah.
He's from New York.
Yeah.
He comes in. His 2 sons. He had 2 sons named Kareem and Dub.
Okay.
They're straight out of Juice. You know the movie Juice.
Yeah, of course I know the movie Juice, man.
So they're straight out of Juice. I don't know nothing. I'm living in Houston, and Louisiana, and California.
Right. So the brother from FOI follows the Islam, Fruits of Islam. He is from New York. His sons are from obviously New York as well. Yep. They moved to Arizona prior to you getting here.
My mom leaves my stepdad.
Yeah.
To get with Muslim dude.
Okay.
Muslim dude plays no games. He's a jokester, but we're all living together now. We're living on 19th Avenue in Southern.
Okay.
South Phoenix. Big old house in the cul-de-sac. So his kids come out here, yo, Dunny, check this out. All that you doing is done.
Yeah.
You bring a white girl here, they murking you.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, what's murking? I don't even know. The white boy just seeped right up and said, guys.
How old are you at this point?
Bro, I'm in the 7th grade.
Okay, got it. So this is a pivotal time. This is a pivotal time.
7th, 8th grade.
It's funny because when you talk to me, Dwayne, you'll talk to me about, like, we have a lot of vernacular, like a lot of East Coast vernacular. He'd be like, what's up, Dunny, blah, blah, and I'm like, this off the rip, he starts talking to me like this. My first day I met him, he starts talking to me like that, and I'm like, where you from? And he was like, LA. I'm like, you're from California, how do you know all this vernacular? So I'm learning this you know, I think we talked about this before, but to hear it, man, it's funny how you came to brush up against the East Coast vibe.
For sure.
And then when I met you, it felt like, oh, he knows me already.
For sure.
So you grow up with a grandmother who was married nine times with 9 different baby daddies.
Yes.
She has 9 children.
9 children.
One of the children's your mom.
Yep.
Your mom, you watch her basically
redid the same thing.
Kind of jumping in and out of a relationship. You moved to Arizona.
As a woman.
As a woman, different story, bro.
As a woman.
Maybe different story, but maybe not, you know. But so you now are in Arizona. You meet the gentleman Salim, who now is your new stepdad, essentially, sort of sorts.
For sure.
And now that impression starts to happen for you. So you had a lot of I think, you know, there's some things that I'm almost like trying to connect the dots on for you now.
For who I am today.
I know you probably obviously already put the
recipe for
but
sure.
But I'm seeing okay, I get it. Sometimes you don't know. I mean, I never have a conversation like this.
For sure.
Right? And we've been around each other
authentic. For sure.
mad times, right? I don't know.
100%.
I feel like most men don't have a conversation.
We don't break this stuff down.
I never have a conversation.
We don't talk about what moms is doing. We don't talk about what pops is doing. We don't talk about those things. No.
Never has conversations.
No.
And you know, we just want to joke and have fun because it's like, well, we got enough stuff to think about, man.
100%.
I'm not about to psychoanalyze or anything like that. So I can see your examples, bro. I can see some of your examples there. Man, that makes sense, bro.
And then you take those examples, right? So now we're talking about 8th, 9th grade. I'm becoming a young man,
right?
And then what's the music we're listening to? Bitches ain't this hoes and player. I want to be a player.
Yeah.
We looking at all these things as my sexual attention is growing. Now I'm taller than everybody. I got I'm somewhat of a handsome person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all know I'm joking. So with that being said, I was going in.
Yeah.
So now I'm exposed to this lifestyle and this attention. I moved to Arizona now. I really because of Kareem and Dub, they was not playing the white girl thing.
Yeah.
So it really messed me up. Like I'm not getting beat up in my own house.
Right.
So I'm not even checking for white chicks like that.
Got it. Huh.
So then the first, now to be completely transparent, the first porn star I started looking at was Ebony Hayes.
Got it. Okay.
Ebony Hayes is the super chocolate. Y'all want to Google her? She was a super chocolate porn star that was thick as frozen peanut butter.
Right.
Back in like the 80s, right? So that's my instant connection with sex.
Yeah.
So I love black women from that point on.
Got it. So you think like, so I know I asked you who the most influential people were.
For sure.
So I'm gonna say your mom, your grandmother, and Salim.
And Salim was very influential. Okay. Absolutely.
And then what would you say, like, so a pivotal part of your life was that move from Texas to Arizona.
Yep.
Right? And then, so obviously you've been that. You're a father of 4 now, right?
Father of 4, yes, sir.
So you have all those things that take place for you, right? And becoming a father, how do you think it shifted your life now? Like, you're raising like the most delicate thing to you, right? And I really would love to be a father. It's probably one of my biggest things, right? It's one of my things I really would love to do and be a present father. I don't want to be fragmented baby daddy. I don't want that.
You don't want that. It's a horrible thing.
I don't want that. All right. And why did it take you this long? Because I'd rather do it right than be fast.
100%.
Right. I'd rather do it right than be fast every single time. So you go through this process and you learn some things about yourself, obviously becoming a parent, right? Mm-hmm. What's the most surprising thing you learned since becoming a parent about yourself, though?
Those children are an example of you. And when you're picking your partner to have these children with, you have to pick with your soul and with your mind. You have to disconnect from the ego, where the ego desires and wants all these things that's on the surface, and connect from the soul.
Yeah, bro.
The person who actually shows up for you. And when they're showing up for you, you have to instantly start working on yourself. When they're showing you that they're this soulful, beautiful person that's all about Khalil, then you got to say to yourself, okay, I have to grow up.
Right.
Because a lot of us men, and we talked about it earlier, especially my life, I didn't have a strong father. So I'm fighting that inner mama's boy that just wants what he wants.
Yeah, for sure.
Because as tough as moms can be on you, she's just gonna give you what you want. And dad don't care about none of that. So when you don't have dad saying, I don't care about what you want, you struggle with developing the discipline as an adult that will haunt you your entire life.
Right.
So when I think about that, I had this. I'm now divorced.
Yeah.
I was married to an amazing woman.
Okay.
And I had this amazing woman who was all about me, that had this structure, who knew family. And I I idolized that in her, amongst so many other things.
Right.
But I still didn't know how to. I didn't know how to let go of that child that saw all the dysfunction. I didn't, and I developed a lifestyle that was somewhat justifiable to walk that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you can go into is polygamy okay? Is it not to be this way or whatever is okay? You can go into all these different lifestyle things, but in the day we live in, you can't break that trust.
Okay.
And if you are going to have a certain lifestyle, you got to be upfront with it.
Yeah.
So since that's not the case, it was wrong for me to do and act the way I did.
Got it.
And act like that child and drag him into my marriage.
Yeah. So you think that what you learned about yourself since becoming a parent is that you can't be childish, or what are you trying like?
You have to, as a parent, you need a partner.
Yes. Okay.
You need your partner.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that when you're picking your partner, you're picking wisely.
Right.
And if God sends you a wise woman, if the universe sends you the wise woman that wants to be there for you, then you now have to flip the switch.
Yeah. So
parenting, the cycle of being a father can't even happen until you sow that seed in the righteous woman.
Right.
And that woman, you have to respect her and honor her on a level of nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's before I even answer what Ava, Sienna, Hendrix, or Noah has showed up to me. I have to first give credit to the mother and say that I needed to be a better father, a husband to her.
Got it.
Before I even be a husband, a father to my child.
Makes sense. Makes sense, man.
Because you can't even do it righteously if you're not in the house.
Yeah.
And because of the choice that I made, I'm no longer in the house.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at him and I'm trying to be there and trying to do this and trying to teach him this, but the separation is so deep that I can only show up. I'm a coach now. I'm an assistant coach.
Yeah, you're part-time.
I'm part-time.
So you were married for how long?
I was married probably about 15 years. If I didn't do the math, but it's probably something like that.
So you were married for 15 years. You had your children.
Yeah.
And you got divorced how long ago?
It's been about 4 years now.
Okay, so let's say 2020 somewhere? Right?
Yeah, we got 2022.
2022, okay.
A week before I got home from prison. We signed the paperwork. She sent the paperwork in prison. I gladly signed everything, didn't ask for nothing. The process began in March when I was in prison. And now when you're in prison, everybody knows your business.
Yeah.
Because the prisoners pass out everything. So I'm walking around prison and I'm this smiley, upbeat person.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, man, how you doing what you doing? How you positive? How you, listen.
In the middle of getting divorce papers.
In the middle of getting divorce papers, sitting in prison. And in prison. So again, I brought it all on myself.
Man, that's a mature way to look at it, bro.
I brought it all on myself.
Hold on, let me just stop there, bro. It's such a mature way to look at it, man, because I think oftentimes, right, I know this ain't a thing. This is not a think thing.
For sure.
Everyone plays victim so often.
Oh, God.
And I find that the victim is what controls so many people because they want to be, look what happened to me. And this is what I would say to you, right? Like, so you talked about a lot of things, and I think I can identify with some of them and some of them I don't, because we're not the same people, right?
For sure.
And the reason I think it's a big deal is because someone is identifying what you just said.
Sure.
Someone lived a similar life to you.
For sure.
I was so grateful for coaches, right, in sports, right? Thank God, thank good.
Thank God, thank good. That's
for
right.
For coaches, right?
That's
for
right.
coaches, man.
Men
coaches, like
that's right.
For playing football, it's probably one of the biggest blessings, right?
Amen.
Because this is what would take place. Hey, you're oftentimes your coach is your teacher too in school, right? And so I had a teacher. He taught history class, but he also taught the team. Yeah. And I was not doing well in his class, and he would be like, he reminded me, no one cares how you feel about things. No. It just matters what you do.
That's right.
Like, no one cares how you feel. Yeah. Like, he was like, no one cares how you feel. I remember him saying it to me, like,
that's right.
No one cares how you feel. Yeah. And people get so governed by feeling, like, well, I feel this way. And I'm not saying your intuition, your sixth sense, your third eye, whatever you believe in, those are different things.
For sure.
I'm talking about the things you're like, I don't like that. You're like, but no one cares that you don't like that,
Still
right?
need this work.
So the fact that you take responsibility, right? I got a tattoo on my hand. I don't know if you guys can see that on my hand. It says response able, right? Response and then a dot and then able, right?
Absolutely.
The ability to respond to anything the way I choose to, right?
Yep.
When you think about taking responsibility, you're in prison, you're about to come home. You know you're about to come home. You haven't been able to, look, you have visitation, so you get to see your kids.
Oh, we didn't get to see any, but no, it was no visitation. I didn't do no visitation because I had to get the COVID shot to have visitors.
Okay, got it.
So we didn't have no visitation. And the whole time of myself, from the day I got there, I had 10 months to go.
Yeah.
From the day I got there, I knew I was on my way home.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
So this is my time to work on me.
Yep.
So I said, okay, what's 10 months?
Yeah.
What's 10 months?
Right.
So I said, I'm about to go. So every single time something happened, I kept telling myself, I'm about to go.
Yeah, I'm about to be out.
I'm about to be out.
I'm about to be out. You had your sentence of 10 months is almost, it's almost perfect, bro. And I don't want to say that like perfect.
No, 100%.
Because a baby's born in essentially
10 months.
10 months.
That's
bro.
right.
Essentially 10 months,
That's right.
So you have a rebirth happen for you. But here's the thing about rebirth, right? And I'm talking about feelings, right?
Yeah.
Rebirth doesn't happen unless you really dig deep.
Listen.
And there has to be so many things that must go right for the seed to be able to be planted long enough to sit in the soil, long enough to germinate the thing that you come out as a new person.
100%.
Bro, the fact that you went in, I remember that when, again, looking for you, not knowing where you were. And I got word where you were at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
From some mutual friends.
For sure.
And to come back though different, I got to give you props, man.
Bless you, brother.
I got to give you props because you could have came home and just been a dickhead.
Could have easy.
You could have easily just been like,
I could have stayed
I'm
there.
just gonna do whatever I want to do. You'd be like, and I think maybe when you were away, I was kind of like, I wonder what version he's gonna come back as, because you could easily like the thing about influence, the thing about favor, right? The thing about favor is that you're favored by God. You heard this before,
Amen.
but you're also favored by
The devil.
the devil.
Yes, sir.
Right? So I didn't know which way you might go coming back, and I was like, he a good dude, man. I know we all make mistakes, but he a good dude. Like I hope he don't.
No, because
I hope he don't go that way. Easily go. You can easily go that way.
The ego. We all have two wolves in us.
Yeah.
And this is a story that my ex told me because with her Native American background. We all have two wolves in us.
Yes.
One wolf is selfish, is childish, is vindictive, holds on to anger. One wolf is peaceful. One wolf is joy. One wolf is positivity. One wolf is limitless possibilities. And the young man asked the grandfather the story. I forgot. I'm messing it up. But nonetheless, the young man asked the grandfather, "Well, grandfather, which wolf grows? The one you feed."
Yeah. That makes sense. Yep.
So we have to pick. We have to pick consistently. When I talk about stoicism, when I'm talking about being so calm, somebody can spit on you, you walk. You have to be consistent with your work on yourself. From studying books, from studying YouTube, to being at peace and sitting around doing nothing, just meditation. That peace has to be there because them challenges are never going to stop coming.
I think there's something to be said about that. How old are you? You said 40.
I'll be 47 in July.
Okay, so you're 47 in
48 in July. I'm sorry. 48 in July.
Right? I say all that, but there's a level of wisdom that you have, Dwayne, that most people aren't going to be able to have. Like it's just you're speaking from a spot that is kind of like higher than, and I don't mean higher as though you shouldn't speak from that spot. I mean like there's perspective that happens with maturity, and you have that, so you're speaking from that space, but you weren't always that because you wouldn't have been in prison, right? So like the person who's about to make a stupid ass decision again, the person who doesn't want to be in a divorce, right? Like, because I'm sure divorce has shaped you as a
100%.
And that's my next question, right?
100%.
You're married for 15 years. You have 4 children. You know, you went to prison.
Yes, sir.
You're now still thriving. You have your business, right?
Yes, sir. It's sustained. Yes.
You're lucky, bro. And I don't mean like lucky is like a luck is a word that is human, right?
Yes.
That most people wish they. It's like a miracle, and luck are twin sisters, right?
100%.
If we wish away things that we can't make sense of, right?
100%.
So we go miracle,
100%.
luck. You're like no, nothing
That's
like
favor.
that. That's favor, right? So you go through this whole process, Dwayne, and you get divorced. And I have a question for you. Is that really on here, man? I want to know. It's not on here, right?
Let's hear it.
I want to know how divorce changed you.
You know what? It was a painful thing because I knew that my life was never going to be the same. When you have an amazing person in your life that's favored and that loves, that's taught a level of love, that's taught a level of compromise and sacrifice, it's you cherish those things instead of taking advantage of it.
Right.
And when that's pulled from under you, and you now have to go back to doing things on your own, you have to fight that egotistical child that now wants to go back to living a certain lifestyle. But you got to remember that woman was only in front of you because a version did exist.
Man,
we were mirrors of each other.
Yeah.
So even though I was making poor choices in some areas, in some areas we were in alignment.
Yeah.
And when that woman walked away from me, it was the best thing for her.
Right.
And however she finds love is what I want for her.
Right.
Because when you love somebody, it's not about them. It's not about you.
You want them to be happy.
I want her to be the happiest version of her, however that looks and whoever that's with.
Right.
But what that taught me, it taught me how to move on.
Got it.
It taught me how to let go. Because I knew how much she loved me, and I took advantage of it. And I knew, and when she walked away from me, I said, she's doing what's best for her.
Yeah.
So as I maneuver forward through life, I've been able to walk away and block and to let go of even my own staff. People who did amazing things for me, but were no longer in alignment with who I was today.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, if I keep this person around me and I love them and they had my back and they did amazing things for me, make sure my business was open and bills got paid and didn't do this and didn't hurt me. But yet we're not in alignment no more. I have to make a decision like, okay, I have to move different, and I have to hurt feelings.
Yeah.
And if she could be hurt by making the move she made, which she knew the offspring, she knew everything that was going to happen because she's a thinker.
Right.
I was so impressed by her when I met her at 20 years old. She's such a thinker. So if she can make the decision, then that means I can make the decision for what's best in my life.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest lesson that I learned from divorce. It wasn't about having somebody being yours. It wasn't about, listen, nobody belongs to you.
Yeah.
We have one life and it's both alone.
It's just your turn.
It's just your turn.
Yeah.
We're born alone and we're gonna die alone.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen a bank or a U-Haul at a funeral.
Right.
Ain't nothing going with us.
So your biggest lesson from divorce is how to move on.
How to move on. How to let go.
Got it.
One of the great authors said in the book, it's not about who you hire and how you hire, it's who you fire and how you fire. It's who you fire, who you let go of. Because you can keep something that's actually causing you harm. Now, marriage is a different thing, and there's different philosophies on it, and I've learned different philosophies going forward and how to prevent certain ways so I can show up properly for whoever's coming over me next, right?
Yeah.
So I can not go down those same dark tunnels.
Right.
But yeah, when it's time to let go, it's time to let go.
Yeah, man. I think that's a big one, man. I was in a 10-year relationship. I was engaged.
Absolutely.
Also well. And I could hear some of the things that you're saying. And be like, yeah, I get it, bro. I understand. Finding someone who is powerful in your life, it's a big deal. But in your reflection of hearing you talk, what it's having me do right now is take inventory of my own life, right this moment, right? I'm single. I live in a place where I could do kind of whatever I want. I could do whatever I choose. I feel like I'm a decent looking man. I feel like I have the status of a lot of things.
Decent at best.
Yeah, best.
Handsome ass. Listen, he would have been a Kappa. He would have been a Kappa. He would have got his ass beat, but he would have been a Kappa. You know what I'm saying? Don't play no games.
So you know, I know that I can have the fruit
For sure.
of all the things that I want. However, there's only one fruit that I want.
100%.
Right? And it's funny when you walk into a buffet and they don't have the thing you want there.
Come on.
It's like, and you're like, because I know what it tastes like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and oftentimes the buffet doesn't even have what you want anyway. Like, you know, buffets like
it looks great.
It's like
but
cafeteria food. It's
100%.
cafeteria food. You know, it's grade D level food, right? So this is what prisons and like universities sometimes
100%.
get. It's like, and you'll go to the buffet, and this is no shade to anyone.
100%.
But there's a caliber of person that must be displayed that will attract what you want, right? So. Just hearing what you're saying, man, it's just like, the reason the podcast exists is because I'm in a state of reinvention right now.
100%.
And to be, totally transparent, it's interesting, bro. Like, it's been interesting to be, I would say, high on the hog, at the mountaintop, and then be like, pandemic changed everything.
100%.
Losing, I would say, 99% of my businesses and calling off an engagement and moving to, moving to the home that I'm currently in. All those things change, man. And so the reason I want to have someone like you on, who's been through the muck and mire in the lowest part of, I would say, yourself, probably.
100%.
I think that quiet time that you were able to be given in prison,
it was a gift.
Bro, because I don't know, hearing that you said you had multiple DUIs. I know you had a couple, right?
Yeah.
And you hear that just kind of like...
Yeah, around the way,
and I know that me coming to the shop once in a while wouldn't like... maybe you would say it, but I wouldn't know the extent, right? Because we all two sides of the same coin. We all want to look good and not look bad.
For sure.
Both they're the same things, but I want to look good but not look bad. So this governs a lot of people. This is the emotional.
It really
governing.
Really
I'm governed by how I look. I'm governed by how I look. You'd be like, yeah, I know. So when I heard that, what you went through, a part of me is happy because I don't know if you'd be here, bro. Like,
100%.
If you didn't get
100%.
sat down,
100%.
and you was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep riding my bike and
Drunk, toe up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
bro. And when you come out of those places, you make different choices. I was also, not only am I a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, I'm also a member of a bike club called Soul Brothers, which was established in 1968 out in East Palo Alto, California. And great guys, man, great group of guys. But I start realizing when I got home, these guys supported me. Bread, Big Psych. I mean, a bunch of great brothers. But I started realizing that, you know, these guys are great gentlemen, but I need to learn a new way of life.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to throw myself right back in the same pot of gumbo, if you will,
right.
and slowly get back in the same habits.
Yeah.
So I removed myself from that environment.
Yeah.
I still have my bike, but I had walked away from the club as far as an active member.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, when you make certain changes in life, I'll still have a cocktail or two, but I'm an Uber king.
Yeah.
I'll spend $1,000 on Uber.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than put myself in a compromised situation.
Yeah. There's something called recidivism. You know what that is?
Please tell me.
Recidivism is when you commit a crime and you commit that crime again. You get out, you commit the crime again. You get out, you commit the crime again. So you keep committing the crime.
Yep.
There's two parts to this question. All right, this is not on this. So.
For sure. I love it.
Recidivism. So you keep committing a crime. One, why didn't you, after 10 months, because you could easily be back there right now.
For sure.
One, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you commit the same crime or, you know, whatever, break the law the same way? Because you easily could have. The access to the things that you would need for that recipe is vehicle and alcohol.
Yep.
You have access to both of them.
For sure.
Why not do it again? And I mean that not like, oh, why won't you do it? Obviously I wouldn't do it, but why not do it? Because like, what's your justification for not just, I'm gonna go back to being what it is? And I ask you this because most people are repeat offenders of the same thing. Like yep, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do.
Being
this is what I do.
dishonest, horrible with money.
Right.
Bad habits. For sure. They don't die easily.
So what's the spoke in the? What's like the stick in the spokes that stopped you from being in that place? Like I get you sat down for 10 months, but most people get sat down, come right back, and they got 3-4 months of doing good, and then they go right back into it.
Go right back. Months.
Right.
So I'm on year 3 of being home.
Okay.
Year 4 of breaking a lot of habits. I still love a good meal. I still love a good cocktail. Right. But I said to myself, I lost an amazing woman. I lost my children to be there active in their life.
A full-time basis.
A full-time basis. And I lost my credibility in their eyes.
Yeah, man, damn.
So when you think about your credibility with your child
bro.
And not having a father, I think about my daughter's perspective of men going forward. I think about my son's perspective of being a man.
Damn, Dwayne. Damn, bro.
And then I think about this woman who I disappointed. And I said, if I continue to drink and drive, I'm now saying F y'all on a high level.
Yeah.
And not only them, I'm thinking about my brother Khalil.
Right.
I'm thinking about the people who hold me in high regard. Right. And if I earn this reputation, we're only here because we're in alignment with each other from day one.
Right, off rip, yep.
So if I continue to make those poor choices, how much I really love myself and how much I really love you.
That's real, bro.
So I had to say to myself, do I really love myself to continue to do these things?
Damn, Dwayne. Damn, bro. Do I really love myself, man? Bro, it'd be so, you know pacifiers, obviously.
For sure. For sure.
A pacifier doesn't do what the bottle does, right?
Nope.
And pacifiers just keep you pacified.
Yep.
Keep you. And I find myself at times being pacified.
Absolutely.
I'm eating, but there's no substance.
No substance. Nope.
I have a master's degree in education. I don't know if you know that. Something I studied in college was recidivism.
Okay.
Is going back and making the same mistake over and over. Most people who have recidivism, who create the same act over and over, the number one reason they do it. Do you know what would you guess? The number one reason why they keep committing the same act. What would be your guess?
Comfort. That's their comfort. That's their go-to. That's their comfort zone.
Right. Yeah, that's a big one.
Okay.
It's lack of vocabulary.
Lack of vocabulary.
Vocabulary.
Wow.
It don't even make sense, right? Now this is why I'm going. So lack of vocabulary. If you, as a baby, if I yell, I get a response. Now you start to condition the parents to go, oh, if I yell, I get a titty, right? Yeah, I yell, I get a toy. I yell, I get out of the crib, right?
That's what happens.
So that's your level of expression, right?
Yep.
Now let's say you fast forward to being an adult. You're over 18.
Yep.
And you commit a crime, but the reason you commit that crime is because you don't know how to express yourself. So as men, especially as black men, right? If you were coddled and all the things that we talked about, and no one teaches you, you can express that. You can be vulnerable.
Come on.
You can talk to me.
Yeah.
You can share.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for my mom, bro, because what we had was sit down dinners every night.
Amen.
Every night. My mom cooked every night. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out.
So what we did is we talked about stuff.
Yeah.
And I got the chance to express myself to my mom, right? I got to express myself when my cousin went to Desert Storm, when my other 2 male cousins got locked up.
Yeah.
I was able to talk to her about it versus going to school and get suspended. Now, granted, I had my absolute amount of times of being suspended at school, but I was able to express myself and cry. Most people who can't express themselves, they have to then what? Act out.
Absolutely.
So if you can't express yourself,
you act out.
You act out. This is recidivism, bro.
Yep.
So when they think, oh, prison is reform, it's reform for those who want to get educated. It's not reform for those who just learn how to survive in an environment,
100%.
in an encapsulated environment, man. So props to you for doing the work, man, because
thank you.
had to expand yourself, but you're an intelligent person, right?
It was my time to show myself who I was going to really be. I'm almost 50, and we're lucky if we get another 50 years.
Yeah, for sure.
We're lucky if we get another 30.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're past the halfway mark in life, and we always think. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why being single today is so challenging with men and women, because we think we have all this time and all these options. You know what I mean? And we do not. We don't.
That's real.
We do not.
We do not.
So for low vibration, for low frequency, for petty, for target love, yes. But I went off Sex Fifth Avenue love. I went to cream of
off Sex Fifth Avenue.
Is it off Sex Fifth, the high end store for clothes?
Off Saks.
Off Saks. Boom.
Are they saying off sex?
Oh no.
Saks Fifth Avenue.
Boom. Off Saks Fifth Avenue.
The store.
I want the cream. I want to go to AJ's.
Got it.
I'm going to Sprouts.
Right.
I'm not going to Fry's.
Whole Foods.
I'm going to Whole Foods.
Got it.
I'm not shopping at Walmart for my next partner.
Nah, man, it makes sense, man.
So it's not going to be about her. It's not going to be about all the outside stuff. So when I talk about that deep level, you got to go deep. So when God gave me that opportunity, when the universe gave me that opportunity to dive in, I had to correct myself. And maybe part of reading those 50 books, giving me a deeper vocabulary, is a part of me developing discipline.
For sure, bro.
That's helping me today.
For sure. And
helping others. So anything can be done. The reason why I love Kobe Bryant so much, and we're going back to the whole copycat thing, because Michael Jordan was the flagstone for basketball. He was a flagstone for tenacity. He was a flagstone for his low-key obsession, which every great player and every great person is obsessed with what they do.
Every great person has an obsession.
Has to be obsessed. So you women, be obsessed with your husbands. You men, be careful with your wife, but be obsessed with making sure you're showing up as a good husband. Don't be obsessed with her because it'll backfire on you. You got to be careful with that. But women, you need to be obsessed with your mate because that's going to give you the fruit and the gasoline to overcome obstacles and dive into a good family. Because the goal is to have a good family. And we struggle with being vulnerable today.
I mean, the whole premise behind this is vulnerability, right?
It's all vulnerability.
This whole setup, this whole thing, while you're here is vulnerability.
100%.
I believe vulnerability is the highest form of strength.
It's the highest form.
Because you can roll over and show your soft underbelly to somebody, and then you're like, I could care less. This
is who I am.
This is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like a lot of freedom comes in vulnerability and honesty, right?
100%.
You said something about loving yourself. I want to ask you, how do you define love?
Great question. Loving yourself, in my opinion, stems from walking by faith. Walking by faith and being so confident, just like the comment you made about rolling over and showing your soft belly and not being worried. Right now I have a tank top. My arm is much more smaller than the other arm. It's atrophy because I don't have the use in it, so it doesn't have the muscles. I'm not going to hide my arm. I'm not going to walk around caring about what nobody thinks of me. And that, for me, is the highest level of self-love. Not worrying about what others think. Because you have to be so gung-ho, so grateful, and so accountable for your life. So accountable that everything is your fault, and so grateful that life isn't worse.
I mean, Dwayne, I'd love it. It's just, I feel like sometimes, man, it's like fake. Not you're fake, but the mass... There's a quote, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. It's Ralph Waldo Emerson, right? There's so many people that don't subscribe to, I'm gonna love myself, I'm just gonna have a thing to go do, or I don't know, man, like trying to get through to people. The reason the channel exists, right? Trying to get through to people, it's almost like, I want it to be elementary school, but at university at the same time. For sure. And I don't know. I guess it'll reach the people it's supposed to reach. It'll reach who it's supposed to reach. It'll reach who it's supposed to. I think about some people, right? And I think about some people that are very close to me that cry wolf for everything. Oh, well, they taking this away. They taking away Medicare. They taking away Social Security. They doing this at the border. I understand there's many things that are going on, and this is not to be political at all.
No way.
My point is, what are you going to do about it? And if you can do something about it, are you doing something about it, or are you just talking about doing something? This is normal. This is normal. Most people go through life complaining about the thing that they can't do anything about, and then if they can do something about it, just want to complain about it.
Because it's the ego versus the soul. The battle is always the ego versus the soul. So the ego wants distraction. The ego wants politics. The ego wants religion because it doesn't have to connect to the soul. The soul says it's me.
Right.
The soul says it's just us.
Yeah.
The soul says it's you that do the work.
Right.
We have a person in office that back in the day a lot of people didn't want, right?
Yep.
He's in office no matter what.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed in my life and nothing's changed in your life.
Right.
So no matter who's in office, you are the captain of your fate and the master of your soul.
That's beautiful, bro.
So no matter what, it's all on you.
Beautiful.
Jesus is just us.
Right.
It's you.
Beautiful.
So you have to fight these battles.
Yeah, bro.
The biggest one, start with your diet, start with your mindset, start with your fitness. And are you accomplishing those three things? Are you beating that battle every single day?
Right.
Are you working every single day to be the best version of you?
Because if you're not,
who cares about who's coming across the border?
That's
Who
real.
cares about gas prices going up?
That's real,
You're
bro.
just gonna adjust anyway.
That's perfectly said. That's well said, man. I think most people can't govern themselves, and so they look for things that they can govern outside. And so you're like, but you can't.
To worry about.
You can't govern anything else.
Why are you worried about that?
You can't govern anything. I have like, I always talk about like my non-negotiables, right?
For sure.
Wake up on time, make your bed, shake tablets, tea, work out, personal development, affirmations, right?
Yep.
And those are big ones, and I'll say that again a little bit different. But I always wake up and I always work out.
100%.
And the reason I wake up and work out is not because I want to work out. I think
Nobody
people think
wants to.
bro.
Nobody wants to. Nobody wants to.
Dwayne, I never want to work out. I'm grateful my body works.
Boom.
But I never want to work out. People think, oh man, you love working out. I'm like, that's like saying I love to cook. I don't like to cook, I like to eat.
100%.
I don't like to feel bad in my clothes. I don't really like to do any work.
For sure.
I want to have sex, drink all day, take edibles, laugh. I don't want to do any of the things that are good for me. Ever.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
Ever. Sometimes I think I'm crazy.
Yeah, no, nobody
If I could
does.
have an edible every day, drink every day, have sex every day,
and still
and
look
laugh
good,
every day,
and live long,
I'd never ever work out.
100%.
Never.
100%.
I only work out because I'm like, well, man, if I don't do this, then I can't get to that, right?
You can't.
But I think so many people try to govern things outside themselves, and they will moan and bitch and cry about things. You're like, why are you wasting that energy?
Come on.
Why are you wasting that energy here?
That's a waste of energy.
I got some more, right?
Let's go. Let's get to it.
Let's see how long we've been on. Let's see how long.
We've been rocking, bro.
Let me see how long we've been on.
How we been rocking?
Oh, we rocking. All right, we rocking.
Amen.
We rocking. Okay, so I have a couple of figure out. So, let's see here. I want to get.
This is a blessing, man. This is a great thing. I'm so excited to see what this is going to do for you.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do for others.
I really hope to do. You ever had a platform? I've been able to speak on stages.
Yeah.
My largest crowd was 35,000 in
What a
Chicago.
blessing.
Man, super cool.
Oh, Chicago's amazing.
I did 20,000 in Chicago, 35,000 in Detroit.
Wow.
I've been able to speak internationally, which has been cool. But I also felt like there was, talents, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've always been gifted to speak to people and to connect people, to talk to them. So I wanted to bring this up because I want to give people an outlet to be able to go, oh, they're just like me.
Yeah.
They're just like me.
We are.
Oh, they're just like me. Oh, they're just like me. Like, I want the just like me to be a thing. And so, yeah, I'm not really sure I was going with that, but I just wanted to say, like, I appreciate you being a champion for every transition I went through, man.
I've been right there.
Since I met you 15 years ago, you've been a part of it. You know what I'm saying to you?
Before Herbalife.
Before, bro.
I remember when he just got into Herbalife. I'd be in Target, and I
They don't even know about Herbalife. They have no clue. They have no clue.
Come on.
Well, this is new.
And you're doing it, and you're not giving up.
You pivot, bro.
No, you're not giving up.
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up a clue.
Who can?
Right.
So when I went to that place, I said, I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
This is my time to get better.
Yeah.
So when I come out, I could be a better version of me.
Yeah.
So as hard as it was, listen, when you're in that spot, anybody go to prison, listen, before you do something dumb, think about the worst place to go.
Yeah.
And it could be worse than that.
Yeah. Now it makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm gonna get these last couple in
Let's
on
get
you,
'em.
man. So I would ask you, what does accountability mean to you?
Accountability means getting in the goddamn mirror.
Okay.
Get in the mirror and point at yourself and saying, look at what you're doing. Are you proud of you?
Yeah.
Look at what you're doing. Are you making the 8-year version of you proud?
No.
Are you doing
I know
the
it's
best?
not a question to me, but
And are you doing the best
you can
for the 8-year version of you?
No, that was a
Are
big,
you
man.
making the 8-year version of you proud? And are you doing the best give the best to the 80-year version of you?
Right.
Because those two things
Yeah.
are, if you're lucky,
Yeah.
if you're blessed, you know 8.
Yeah.
But if you make it to 80, are you doing the best thing for that 80-year-old man?
Right.
The 80-year-old Khalil, the 80-year-old Dwayne.
A lot of things, man. I'm gonna answer the question for real, though.
For sure.
I'm gonna answer the question for real. For my 8-year-old self, I'm doing massive work for him.
Amen.
Massive work for him. For my 80-year-old self, for my 80-year-old self, there's a lot of things I'm taking care of. Physical, body. I just finished a 3-day fast yesterday. I do 72-hour fast every single month since June of last year. So it's been a full 12 months of me doing 72-hour fast. I suggest anybody look into it. I'm not a physician, so do whatever you need to do, your research for yourself. But for me, it's like governing the mind.
It is.
And reminding the body, the mind runs the show.
That's right.
But I'll say, like, I'm definitely doing it for my 8-year-old for sure. I'm so blessed, and I have a ton of trauma from as a kid. We all have it.
We all have it, for sure.
None of us make it unscathed, but the 80-year-old, what I'm doing, I know physically I'm doing it, taking care of him. I like to let my hair down on the weekends, all these locks I got, all the hair I got. And I wonder sometimes, am I doing enough for the 80-year-old who wants family, right? Because I don't know, man. You just, you search for things, and sometimes you're like, there's a list of things I know I want for myself, and I would say like the final, not final, but in my head as me today, the final version of myself is a father, dad, husband, and I said father and dad because I know they are different, right? So father, dad, and husband, and because of that, I think it's one of the things that's like on my heart, right? But I don't know at times if I'm doing everything I could be doing for the 80-year-old who wants the family. I don't know.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. For the 80-year-old version of you have to dig deep and realize every battle isn't worth fighting.
Yeah.
That list you have, pick 3 things off of it and throw everything else away.
Got it.
And then from there, who's got you the most?
Yeah.
And then after that, you rock out.
Yeah.
And you deal with everything else.
Yep.
Because if you get too distracted on the perfections, you'll miss out on all the beauty.
True.
Because the beauty of life is not knowing.
Yeah, man.
We don't know.
I surely didn't think I'd be here.
100%.
And I don't mean it in a bad way. I don't think there's many aspects of this. One, I don't think I would live in this home. One, I never thought I'd live on the West Coast.
Yeah.
I never thought
in tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be in this room today with you having this conversation. But yeah, man, I just appreciate the insight, man. Being a father of 4 now.
Yeah.
You say you're almost to 50, be 48 next month.
In July, yes, sir.
What does that make you? Is that Taurus? What is that? Leo?
I'm a Cancer.
Cancer, okay.
And Cancers are known to be so emotional, and being the mama's boy, and it's the dynamics of how I grew up. My emotions always drove me.
Right.
Which is that, again, I believe is our human superpower is our emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
And then also, that's why it's been taught and programmed us to be so emotional. Because it feels so natural.
Especially in our community, man.
Especially our community.
In our community, man, and this goes to everybody. It's just,
for sure.
You just can see what controls you.
Come on.
You can see what controls you, and you're like, does anyone else see this shit? Like, does everyone else see, like, y'all just being controlled by words and things? Like, they're just pulling on you with words. They winning with words, and anyway, man. Anyway. So, all right.
Yeah.
So, accountability. And then I would ask you, what do you want, Dwayne? And that's a general question, man. That doesn't have to have any, like, what do you want? Bro, if I was to scream at you right now to your face, what do you want? 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 What do you want?
I want to be in the best position to have the fittest mind, body, and soul, and be able to pour into anybody and everybody who's willing to learn.
Got it.
If I could be the best version of myself and show you that regardless of what you're going through in your life, if it's my children, which are going to grow up, which is my future partner, which is going to arrive soon if she's not already here, which is anybody from 8 to 80 who's willing to love and learn, and to give them the faith and the hope that they can overcome any obstacle that life presents in front of them. And if I could do the best version of that, and lead by example, that would be my dream. Got
it. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as being the funniest, wildest, overcoming obstacle person you've ever met.
Got it.
and at the end of my day, in the crowd, I want everybody to take out $500 and go blow it on something.
Got it.
And get home safe.
Got it.
That's what I want. Take my ashes and dump them in the beach.
And everybody take $500. So I'm showing up at your last days.
Yeah.
And you want me to bring $500? First of all, it's expensive.
I want you to take $500.
I might not even show up
and blow it on you.
I might not even show up.
No, I want you to blow it on you.
Look here, I ain't even coming. This I'm gonna give you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But $500, yeah. So
and blow it on you.
Got it.
Take yourself out to the best restaurant. Take your girl out. Do something with your kids. Go do something with that money that you didn't even plan on it.
Got it.
And have the best time of your life.
So something that we do at the end of every podcast. So obviously everyone, right?
Yeah.
But what we do is we nominate people, right?
Yeah.
So we nominate 3 people.
Okay.
I would love for 2 of those people to be people you can actually access, right?
Okay.
That's how we kick the can down the road for the next person to be able to empower the next person.
Yep.
So who's 3 people? 2 of them maybe in your phone, and you could be
Yep.
the third one could be a fantasy
No,
person.
they're my phone.
But who are 3 people that you would say you nominate to be on the next podcast?
A gentleman by the name of Jeremy Bridges, who's a great football player,
I know
great
Jeremy.
friend, great brother, man. He's great energy.
Yeah, I know Jeremy.
I feel like he's a sensation.
Okay.
Right, and I seen him go through so much and rise to where he is
I love
today.
that. Love that.
Another woman, I can't think of her last name, but her first name is April.
Okay.
She's now a real estate mogul who's
Okay.
also overcame a lot of battles.
Okay.
And she's so connected.
Okay.
And not just in the valley as far as her wealth, as far as her accomplishments, but her spirit,
Yeah,
her
yeah.
joy.
Yeah.
The second you meet her, she's phenomenal.
I think I know
energy.
April. I'm pretty sure I
You
know
might
April.
a
I think I
light
know
skinned woman,
April.
green
Yeah, I'm
eyes.
pretty sure I know April.
Phenomenal woman.
100% I know April. 100% know April.
Yeah.
Yep, I do
So
know
those
April.
are 2 people who I can think of off the
Love
top
it.
of my head.
Love it, love it.
I have mentors. I have so many
Yeah.
people, but the people in my realm and who we're talking
Yeah.
about and the energy of I just got just
Yeah.
now, those names just came to me.
Got it.
Those aren't
Perfect.
the names I came in here with.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Those names just came to me
Beautiful,
just now.
beautiful.
So that's all. And then if I can interview an imaginary person
Or any other person
To be on the show?
to be on the show. Yep, to be on the podcast.
that's alive or not alive,
Alive.
it has to be my boy Mike Rashid.
Okay, Mike Rashid.
I've known him for over 20 years.
Mike Rashid, the one that's in the fitness, the fitness
guy.
The fitness guy. Yeah.
He's probably one of the deepest thinkers I know of.
Okay.
He's from the East Coast, but he's from Arizona.
Right.
So he has this amazing dynamic. Of course, he beats the gym. He's laser focused on
Yes.
everything.
Yep.
So shout out to my boy Mike Rashid. That would be the third.
All right, cool. So we got
Yeah.
Jeremy Bridges.
April.
April. I can't remember her last name
Yeah,
right now either,
yeah.
but I know for sure. And then and
Mike Rashid.
Mike Rashid.
Yeah.
So and then here's the thing. There's the question.
Okay.
What would you like them? What was the one question you would like for all 3 of them to answer? What's one question that you could skewer all of them with?
What keeps you laser focused?
What keeps you laser focused? You've been nominated. Jeremy Bridges, you've been nominated. April, you've been nominated. And Mike Rashid, you've been nominated to come to
Absolutely.
the podcast. Before we get out of here, I just want to say thanks so much to my second guest, Dwayne
Yes, sir. Yes,
Lefty
sir.
Phelps.
We here.
From California to Texas to AZ. Thanks for
AZ.
being vulnerable. Thanks for being open.
Absolutely.
I also want to shout out the music that we heard in the beginning was by X-Tracks, my boy from college named Carmen. And we also got an outro. But I just want to say thanks for every person that subscribed and liked. It goes a long way. The premise of the channel is for us to be able to empower each other, to be vulnerable, which is the highest form of strength. But me being in a state of reinvention, I figured why not pass this on as I'm in my own documentation of reinventing myself once again. But I just want to say thanks so much. I'll outro us with this with a beat from my boy.
Here we go. Let's get it.
And then the outro is by my boy Kevin Clinton out in Jersey. But I just want to say thanks so much for being who you are, and appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking in. My guy, bro. Man, I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Man. That was awesome, bro. That was awesome.
For sure.
Bro, wait, man, we got.
Come on.
This is it's cool, bro.
For sure.
You know, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool. But my guy put this
Authentic,
together,
that's
bro.
right
Like,
there.
yeah, I feel like it's all like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see the lights got a little bit of a lamp on them and all that, bro. But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great setup. Yeah.